Do you know what you have just done? You have just tuned into my super fun Monday night live stream, aka the Supreme Hangout stream, but also known as the Ultra Cool Chill stream. For June 6th, 2022, brought to you by yours truly, the man, broadcasting from behind the curtain. You know who I am. Because if you don't know by now, you can visit a mega special website called www.livefreeliverich.com, or simply stick this great name inside a Google search engine and you can find out. Now, for those of you who already know, I'm proud of you. Welcome to the show. Go ahead, drop me a comment, say hello. There's no need to be shy. I just like to know who took the time to stop by is all. Now, for the rest of you who don't know, that's okay too, because I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. You see, I come on here 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's 6 p.m. Pacific, every Monday night. And I load up this live stream so we all can come together, readers and writers alike. And you guys supply me with things to talk about. Or else, you're welcome to just come in here and hang out while I do my part to raise awareness for various projects from around the underground scene. But more specifically, creative projects that revolve around the realm of indie publishing. Now, with that long-winded intro out of the way, that's my segue to slide right into my first segment of the day, all slick like lickety-split, because this first segment is where I discover books from the independent market. First up tonight comes from Twitter, from Lisa Marie Meadows. She doesn't have much to say, just shares a link to her book series, The Waves. So let's check that out. I already did a little pre-show prep, if you will. A 3-book series, also known as a trilogy, The Waves series by Lisa Marie Meadows. All right, so I guess I'll do what I usually do when someone requests a full series. I guess there's two. I'll read the series synopsis, and then I'll read the blurb for book 1 in the series. See how that works out. So The Waves. From book 1. Okay, so this is from book 1. All right, so we'll just go ahead. We'll read book 1 then. Dr. Shelby Stone and Dr. Simon Wellington work together. As renowned infectious disease physicians, they are called upon to assist in the pandemic, starting in China, using their model for analyzing the virus and providing guidance to the country. Before they can finish, they are urgently called to Italy to not only help stabilize the viral surge, but help the hospitals as attending physicians to care for patients suffering from the virus. While in Italy and their romance continues to blossom, Shelby is called home to care for her brother. The pandemic continues to surge in other countries, hitting home in New York. They both assist in New York and deal with losses of patients on a global scale. They also learn the support from the city that is shown with a demonstration for them. While dealing with their emotional past, a pandemic, and a romance, Shelby has to make a decision that could change both of their lives forever. Shelby and Simon have to part as she goes to Brazil as he continues to fight in the United States. As she drives off, a crash is heard and Simon sees smoke. Running, panicked that it may be Shelby, when he reaches the accident, she is nowhere to be found. He only finds the blue box with blood that contained the charm he had made for her. So, blurb, a little bit vague. I'm assuming that meant like a plane crash or something like that while she was flying to Brazil. And then he goes to Brazil afterwards in search of her. Interesting. Pandemic stories. I don't know how you guys feel about pandemic stories. Too soon? All right. And that is a first wave. And then, Lord help us, there's a second wave. And then, what do you know? A third wave. The Waves, 3-book series by Lisa Marie Meadows. Now, if you guys have a book on the market that you'd like a shout out for, you can reach out to me anytime I post on my social media accounts, requesting links. You guys can share links to your books and you can get a shout out on the show anytime. I suggest you can take full advantage of this by just requesting one book at a time. It could be any time that you have, a new release. It could be an upcoming release, like a pre-order type deal, or any book that you may have on the market. And it doesn't have to just be from Amazon either. You guys can also share if your book is posted on your website. That's fine as well. Okay. This next one comes from J.S. Frankel. I mean, you can't really see that one. It says, we all need a home. For number 8, a teen with no past, no identity, meeting the Oddities circus performers with real powers. This is his chance to be a part of a family, if the law will allow it. This is The Oddities by J.S. Frankel. Okay. Everyone has a place in the world. Now, for number 8, a teen with no past, no identity, and little chance of a future. It's time for him to find his. Number 8, a teen trained to be a warrior, escapes from a shadowy place known only as the facility. He has no memory of his past and only wishes to discover who he is and where he is going. Enhanced with exceptional strength, speed, and oral ability, he stumbles upon a small circus sideshow act that calls itself the Oddities. And oddities they are. Small, tall, can change his height, feet can hurl knives with unerring accuracy with only his toes. Lips uses the power of wind, and grace can generate the heat of a small sun. Yet they hide their true powers for fear that the government will deem them a threat. Number 8 adopts the name Nick Adamer as a cover. Afraid that the members of the facility will come after him, he needs a place to hide, and the Oddities accept him as their resident strongman. They travel from place to place, living an itinerant lifestyle, all the while pursued by those who don't have their best interests at heart. Soon, the members of the facility catch up with them, and Nick must fight for his future as well as for the only friends he's ever had. That is The Oddities by J.S. Frankel. The MK Ultra experiment child trope I see is being utilized here. That's always fun. Seen that name J.S. Frankel around on Twitter quite a bit. He has other books too that are going to be coming up on the live stream. He does a lot of different types of genres. Seems to have a very unique style. All right, another Twitter request is coming in. We have from Jay Sprenger. He says, a cursed girl rises to lead her warlike people and must resist or serve the arriving humans. This is Dark Angel, a warrior's epic by Joseph Sprenger. All right. A cute looking model on that cover there. If I don't say so myself. All right. Dark Angel, a warrior's epic. Pretty long description here. Pretty long blurb. Have you ever felt discriminated because of something you can't control? Dark Angel is the story of a woman born to a species known as raptors who live on a world far from Earth known as Gilead. She is set apart because she is born with the trait of red hair, which, according to her religion, is a portent of doom to bring about the end of their world. Given the name Red at birth, she only narrowly avoids being put to death as an infant, so her people can avoid the terrible fate of apocalypse. But as all who know life understand, birth is only the beginning. Raptors live much longer than humans, and so the story picks up again nearly a century later, when she is a promising young warrior with dreams of living the pride leaving the pride. But her dreams are dashed when her father, the chief of the pride, has a vision where he believes his God has commanded him to put Red as his successor over her brother. When her father dies, soon later she is coronated chief of the mighty pride in his place, the leader of a people who begrudgingly follow her, but with many enemies plotting her destruction, along with a precarious political position in a changing world. Her time as leader is enlightened but brief. A plot by her sister is soon successful, and Red narrowly avoids execution once again. She is banished to the distant Gilead continent of Western Normania, which is populated by the raptors' traditional enemy, the reptiles. Once in Normania, we should call them the normies. Once in Normania, she takes on the name Dark Angel, a demon in her religion, to better reflect how she feels during this dark period of her life. The melodramatic type, I see. In Normania, she finds the other races of Gilead threatened by the rapid expansion of reptile empires and must choose to aid the reptiles or to resist them. After another failed war to dislodge reptile power, Dark Angel is gifted as a tribute to a band of interstellar explorers known as humans. It seems like we're getting a full-on synopsis here. With this band of pirates, she is taken to Earth, where she finds peace and love and has a son. Spoiler alerts. Upon the end of a romance with a human named Jake, Dark Angel realizes Gilead is her home and returns to find her world a part of her world is a part of the Federation, a political organization that offers peace but also loots its member planets, wealth, and freedom. As a former freedom fighter and general, Dark Angel finds herself a target for Federals and a native resistance group known as the Red X. Fleeing them, Dark Angel finds herself marooned in the middle of a desert with a more primitive pride of raptors. Amongst them, she meets her future husband, Mustang. Returning to the federal-controlled areas of Gilead, Dark Angel takes a new name, Tori Mustang, to reflect her attempt at a new, peaceful, law-abiding life of wife, mother, and citizen. But will the forces spoiling for war let her go, or will they draw her back into a final confrontation with the Federation? So there's a lot going on in this synopsis here. You're giving a full-on, this is not a blurb so much as this is like a full-on plot synopsis. I would say, I would almost suggest this book clocks in at 734 pages. So there's plenty for the reader to discover for themselves. There's plenty of time for the reader to discover a lot of these plot points on their own. I mean, I feel like you've kind of laid out a lot of the beats here. So like if someone's going to, pick up this book and it's kind of a chunker at 734 pages and they already kind of know what to expect, like the plot points in terms of like you've already laid out several different beats in the plot right in this product description. So just as a suggestion, I would almost say that I would probably go back and redo this blurb if I were you. Just a suggestion. I just feel like you give away quite a bit of the book. Oddly enough, Amazon has this under science fiction adventures, which clearly this seems like more of like a fantasy with obvious political intrigue. But that is Dark Angel, A Warrior's Epic by Joseph Sprenger. All right, making good time this week. We got quite a bit to get through. We got one more book, and then we're going to jump into some announcements. Let's see how much I want to share this week. I got quite a bit. We got quite a bit of requests this week on social media. Actually, I had to pull back a little bit on the queue because the queue was filling out quite a bit. It was getting inundated. But that is a good thing. I want to have plenty of content. All right. This next one another one from Twitter, from S.A. Krishnan. They write, a little double cross, a Rayanch Moran mystery, the Sthapan series, a single night, a dead body, a small mystery. Now, here's the thing. Remember those words, a single night, a dead body, a small mystery. It's just funny how this plays out sometimes on the stream. You guys just heard that last description, right? How long that last description was. And then this one, you'll see. Well, you'll hear it. Anyways, the title of the book is quite a mouthful. A little double cross, a Rayanch Moran mystery, the Sthapan series. So we've got a title. We've got the title, the character series, or the character who's in the story, the main character of this particular story in the series, and then the name of the series. So that's the first time I've seen a book with two subtitles like that. But this is actually a short story. Let me share the screen here. So this one's short story. The blurb is literally 3 sentences. A single night, a dead body, a small mystery. That's it. 33 pages. S.A. Krishnan. Obviously, this is a 1 hour, falls under the 1 hour mark for short stories. That's my sweet spot as well. As a matter of fact, I think that's a good length for short stories. You know, that 45-minute, 1 hour length. It's a nice full short story. You can get 3 acts in there. This falls under hard-boiled mysteries, mystery thriller, suspense, short fiction. All these products, the links to all these products, obviously, will be left in the description of the video. Let's get into some announcements here. I was busy this week. Well, working on different things. Some of you know I've been trying to work on more collaborative type projects. Well, I've been trying to get back into the groove of writing and writing some flash fiction and whatnot. And but I also keep an eye out for different like new creators on Authortube and YouTube that I may possibly be able to, reach out to, and may have be able to bounce different ideas off of, possibly collaborate with, at some point in time. And I came across a channel, and this user goes by the name of Lou Yardley at the Goblin Storybook. Now, her channel, I just happened to stumble across her channel. I don't know. It just came up in the, the YouTube main page. The algorithms just said, hey, maybe you should check this person out. And they happen to be doing a live stream. And you guys, those of you who know me already know, anytime I see a live stream going on and I'm online, that's where I like to hang out. So just a little FYI, if you guys connect with me, you run live streams, odds are I'm probably going to pop in and say hello and see what's going on. But Lou, she was doing a live stream, and I happened to jump in there. She was real kind. She was actually surprised at the turnout. She has a little bit smaller channel, and she was surprised at the turnout. And I showed up there, and she happened to be doing a giveaway. It was probably one of the largest giveaways that I've seen from a single author on Authortube, and just for participating on her live stream, which is what I fully endorse, by the way, not just in terms of like doing giveaways, but I think like as creators, like if you're creating content, you're doing live streams and stuff like that, or you're an author. I think that that's one way where it's like, it's kind of like justified, I guess would be a good way of putting it, of like, giving out some freebies in terms of your books or whatnot. And I got not one, not two, not three, but 4 free ebooks for participating in her stream. And I thought that was extremely generous on her part. And this first one up here, I got Snuff Fairies, Creep, Banished, and Everfrost. Now, all 4 of these books, now her live stream, she was talking about her upcoming book, which would be the 5th book in this series. This is what's called the Venari series, what she calls the Venari series. Now, here's the cool thing. The Venari series, from what I've learned from the stream and checking out her website, is that the Venari series is not like a fantasy series. It sounds like it would be a fantasy series, but it's not just like a fantasy series, as like it could be horror. Like, for instance, Snuff Fairies. I'll get into that one in a little bit. It would be more of like a folk horror type of story. The other ones I haven't read yet, but they are obviously on my to be read list. But it's basically like the Venari is the name of her fictional universe, or the land in which these stories take place. So it's kind of like, not like a multiverse, but like this is the universe where all her stories take place. So the point that I'm getting to is that although this is referred to as a series, each individual entry is like a standalone story, so you can read them in any order, which I like that. Especially I think that that's a good thing for, unless you're going to be in a specific niche. For instance, fantasy, unless you plan on being a specific niche genre author, then I think that that's actually a great idea for for independent authors to, like myself as well, like I don't want to be pigeonholed into just writing one specific genre. However, each entry in that series is a standalone that can be read, they can be read in any order. However, the reason why they're released in a series is because if you read books that are that come in chronologically later in the series, then you may be able to spot, different types of Easter eggs or whatever from books that are previously in the series, just as like a fun little thing, if you do, read each book chronologically or each story, because some of them, like Snuff Fairies is actually a short story, so they're not all novels. And so the other thing that I wanted to, so first off, thank you to Lou Yardley for those ebooks. That's very kind of you, very generous, I have to say. And shout out to you for that. I also wanted to say that I watched her. You could go to her, the link to her channel is going to be in the description below, and she uploaded an audio version of Snuff Fairies, which I think was she did a great job with that, and the presentation with that, not so much like the visual, but just like the ambiance of it, the background music worked very well. The audio was crisp and clean, and for me, I liked that, and I just wanted to say that that's the type of idea that I have, that's kicking around in my head. I want to do something similar to that with the Storyteller Society. So if I want to do something like that, where it's like it's effectively do like an audiobook thing. It's going to be a web series. Now, whether or not I actually want to do like animations or anything like that, that's up in the air. I think maybe I would do like I have some different ideas that I'm kicking around, because there are some different other types of web series out there on YouTube that I'm kind of drawing inspiration from. But I really want to nail this one and really make it my own. So I don't want to come off as though I'm like outright, trying to copy anybody else, what they're doing. But again, like I say, this project, the Storyteller Society, is something that I'm offering you guys. Yeah, it's going to be a fun project, and I'm actually like am kind of anxious to like get the ball rolling on this one, because you guys, I really want to like hammer this home that like a lot of what I'm doing here is me trying to get you guys engaged, trying to like interact with my peers, trying to get you guys engaged, and at the same time create opportunities, for you guys to get to know me by working together on various different types of projects. And I'm trying to keep coming up with different ways of being able to do that. So for me, that's how I put myself out there. That's how you guys can become, friendly with me, is by becoming engaged and getting involved in these different things that I have going on. So with the Storyteller Society, right now, it's just you guys submitting a story, and I post it on the website at Live Free, Live Rich, on the blog. But I would like to turn it into a web series, so it's kind of like an audio experience on as far as a web series goes. But even still, even further down the road, where my vision is taking me for all of this is eventually I would like to make some connections in film. So whether that be some indie filmmakers, what have you, and start, see if I can't get some connections and see if I can't start making some pitches to, various people in the film industry, as far as like making indie films or whatever, and start bringing some of you guys' stories to life in that way, those who submit to, the Storyteller Society. So these are things that's way down the road. But really, I just want to focus on getting more people engaged and involved in the project. That's all I wanted to say about that one. Moving right along, this one, there's another announcement. It comes from Twitter. Now, this one might interest you guys that are into, say, like Dungeons and Dragons, role-playing, tabletop style games, if you guys are into those sort of things. Now, this one comes from Twitter, user by the name of Laidback DM. He says, Shot Glass Adventures. So I'm assuming like short role-playing adventures. It's been years since I've played any type of Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that, I have to admit. So I'm not hip to all these things, but I thought this concept was very interesting. He says, absolutely awesome one-shots for D&D 5th edition and OSR. So you got print and PDF at Drive-Through RPG, and that is what I wanted to share with you guys and show you what's going on over there. And this comes from Laidback DM. So it's kind of like with Amazon, like how you have the direct publishing, except this website is like specifically for RPGs. And I thought that was pretty cool. I figured I'd share that with you guys. Let's see what we got here. All right, so you see the name of the website. Of course, I'll have the link in the description, but Drive-Through RPG. And then each creator has their own page, kind of like how like authors have their own Amazon page. So you got Laidback DM, and then he has his own website, stevestillstanding.com. But through Drive-Through RPG, he's able to list some products for sale here. So it just has like this banner at the top where you can kind of like scroll through some of his shot glass adventures. But then down here, it comes in different categories with these graphics. So you can browse. He's got different bundles. He's got poetry, I guess, that's like role-playing related. Some digital map packages, these magazines, more maps, his shot glass adventures, shot glass rounds, different things, different types of role-playing, all different products designed around role-playing and like Dungeons, Dragons, tabletop game style products. So I just thought that was interesting. Might be a resource for you guys or any of you that are into Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe would like to, expand your creativity into that realm. All right. Now, if you guys have any announcements that you would like me to share on the live stream, you're more than welcome. You can some examples of announcements. Oh yeah, by the way, I updated the I do have a Discord, and I've recently updated it, so that would be, I'm thinking that could be another place where, like, if you guys just want quick access, in other words, I don't always have to like post on social media, just effectively like for people to like share links or whatnot. And you like it could be a place where, you know, if you're on the Discord, you can just post them, you know, at your leisure or whenever, or you're always welcome to just come back to the YouTube channel and share links on my community page or in the comments section. But some examples would be if you guys have Kickstarter, if you have fundraiser events like Kickstarter, Indiegogo that you guys want to raise awareness for. If you guys are in Booktube and you do readathons, read-alongs, or you're just looking for, you know, maybe individuals that might be interested in doing buddy reads, something like that, and you just like to get a little shout out for your event, I'll do something like that on live stream. And then also, and I would say, you know, a big one would be to, you know, help out other writers and stuff and such would be like if you're launching an anthology and you have submission calls, or you have submission calls for like your blog or magazine, or your e-zines or whatever, then you can share those, and I'll post those on the live stream and make everybody aware. So maybe you can get some more, you know, maybe get some submissions that way. But now let's get into the second to last segment. Yes, I have a video to watch for this live stream, but first is reading time. And this week, I'm going to read an article by, well, let's bring up the request, shall we? From Twitter, user Tim Dahi, he shares a link from his medium.com page. What a perfect relationship looks like. Relationship. What a perfect relationship looks like. So this ought to be entertaining. Looking forward to it. School me, please. Inquiring minds would like to know. The perfect relationship. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go like this. All right, and we're back. A little delay, drop on the internet. Okay. All right, what a perfect relationship looks like. A revealing look at the picture of a perfect relationship from 4 different angles. Very nice. All right. School us. Perfect. Here simply means perfect here simply means a healthy, stable relationship that is just right for you. One in which the right ingredients are present and you are satisfied with how the relationship is going. Now, as we are all different individuals, we naturally have different ideas of what perfection is when it comes to relationships. Though good relationships must be healthy, stable, and happy for them to be considered as approaching anything resembling a picture of perfection, they must hold up to scrutiny when looked at from the following angles. Do they have to have all those things for them to be picturesque? I mean, I feel like those are all subjective. Number 1, individuality. Yes, you are a couple, but you are individuals first. If what you have is a relationship of 2 secure individuals who continue to flourish while strengthening and complementing one another, and your unique identities are accepted and understood, then you are perfect for each other. Number 2, compatibility. Similarities play a vital role here. They ensure that your relationship is healthy and sustainable for the long term. If your relationship needs are aligned and relationship wants are fully negotiated and accommodated, compatibility is a given and you are perfect for each other. Happily, even partners that appear opposites happily, even partners that appear opposites can enjoy a quote perfect relationship if they have overlapping similar interests in the area of their common needs. A, a lack of shared needs is usually a potential relationship deal breaker, so the overlap helps ensure compatibility. Differences in the area of wants, on the other hand, are not necessarily fatal and can actually be healthy for their relationship because it allows partners to maintain an individual sense of self. That almost sounds like a seeking arrangements. Here are the terms. Sign on the dotted line. Fulfillment. Quote, fulfilling is one word that always readily rolls off the tongue when describing an ideal relationship. One sure way a relationship is fulfilling is when it involves partners who not only recognize each other's physical and emotional needs, but are ready to meet those needs in satisfying ways the best they can. For instance, a partner should readily be available to meet the other's needs for intimacy, which doesn't necessarily mean sex. By physically connecting through, why do you have to say which doesn't necessarily mean sex? By physically connecting through acts they are comfortable with and within established, as if that's a bad thing. You're saying that as if almost as if that's like a bad thing or something, which that like it has to be brought up. by physically connecting through acts that they are comfortable with and within established healthy boundaries. Fulfilling emotional needs also requires partners to be emotionally present and responsive to each other. These acts are what keep relationships moving perfectly. Now, here's the thing. I feel like so far, look at this, 325 claps, people clapping. I feel like so far, this is like, it sounds good on pen and paper, sort of, I guess. Like you're saying all the right things, but unfortunately, this sounds like it's all taking place inside of a bubble, as if there is no external, you're not mentioning anything about externalities that could affect the relationship as well, or prevent a relationship from being quote unquote perfect. In other words, if you've ever heard of the expression, in a perfect world, you and I would, if you say that, you look at a woman, a guy looks at a woman, in a perfect world, you and I, we would have been an item, you and I, in a perfect world. But, I feel like the environment has to do a lot with whether or not a relationship would be deemed quote unquote perfect. But just even using the term perfect, I feel like you're dooming a relationship from the start. So number 4, the final angle, security. The ideal relationships are one in which the partners feel safe. The security comes with partners' feelings of mutual trust and respect, confidence in themselves and each other, feeling valued and knowing their other is someone they can always count on. Ideally, partners should be free to be themselves and feel comfortable talking about all issues, from the mundane to the serious. They should be comfortable enough to share even divergent views or perspectives. The undesirable state is, of course, the one plagued by insecurities that result from different and variety of factors, like after an act of betrayal, being repeatedly let down by the other, or even the hurt from a previous relationship. Whatever the case, if feelings of insecurity are present, they need to be addressed. Otherwise, they can wreak real havoc. There's a quote down here. What ruins relationships and causes most fights is insecurity. That is from Olivia Wilde. Insecurity. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, a lot of people, they also use that as like a hammer, especially against like men, I would say. Like men, anytime, like if a man would like speak up, I'm not saying like in all, not all, but many. If a man speaks up about certain things, to a woman, it could seem emasculating. It could also be like she could, flip it around and say, oh, you're just being insecure. He's just a friend. That type of stuff, all these guys around me, they're all just friends. Don't be so insecure. We're just spending the night. He's just spending the night. All right. Now we got a video to watch. Oh, if you guys have something that you'd like me to read on the live stream, just go ahead, leave me a link to your blog post, and I'll check it out. It could be an article, something that, inspires thought, something that's thought-provoking, something like For instance, like that. If you're going to write some romance or something like that, maybe you want to take some notes from that article. You might learn a thing or two. And yeah, it could be a piece of flash fiction, some poetry, an article like that, something philosophical, theological, you know, something that sparked the imagination. Now for our final segment for tonight. And the fourth way in which you can contribute to the show, and that is through video. So if you're a content creator on YouTube, you can share various things. For instance, you could share if you do like tag videos, you could tag me in the video, and I'll watch it live on the stream, and perhaps I'll try to answer the prompts during the broadcast and participate live. Some other examples would be if you do like video essays, if you do storytelling, if you do like a web series or something like that, you know, and it's only like, you know, like 15 minutes, something like that, you know, 15, 20 minutes tops. I might feature that, like say if you do like a web series and you want me to feature like say the first episode or something like that of your web series, and I could watch it live on the stream and kind of like provide like a commentary or something like that, like while I'm watching it on the stream, you could do that. Like poetry readings. And for tonight, also, if you do book trailers. So if you have a book trailer that you would like me to feature on the stream, you can do that. Shout out to the Count Krampus. Interesting name. Comes from Twitter. He says, a mesmerizing erotica series for the open-minded adult reader in your life, or maybe even you. Well, let's check out the trailer and see what I think. This is a book trailer, a double book trailer for The Fetish Dictionary by Contel Bradford. So books 1 and 2 trailer. Okay. Sex isn't all smiles, peaches, and cream for the undeniably obsessed. It's complex. Often shrouded in mystery. Self-loathing. And a sweet slice of misery. Wrap your mind around the dark side of primal instincts in this two-part anthology that takes a sobering look at some of humanity's most fascinating kinks. The Fetish Dictionary, Kinks A to G, and Kinks G through W. Next level erotica. What about XYZ? XYZ coming soon. The ABCs and the XYZs of kink. Brought to you by Count Crew Publications. All right. Oh, there you go. I'm laughing because I just think that was a funny segue where we go from reading an article about the perfect relationship and it has all these things, and then we go into a book trailer about kinks. Now that, if you want to know how to have the perfect relationship, just buy those two books right there, and that's all you need to know about that. And that's a wrap for me this week, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, I'll be on social medias. You can get in contact with me during the week. And if you guys want to jump in on the live stream, hop in on the live stream. Watch it. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead, drop me a comment down below, say hello, and tune in to the live stream every Monday night. Come on here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And I will see you guys next week.